Welcome back. I want to talk about the later sessions of the Junkie Powerful 3. Remember, on the first session for the Junkie Powerful 3, you're saying, I'm so glad you're here today. Your being here today suggests to me that you want to make some changes. What's the first change you want to make? So they tell you about the changes they want to make. In later sessions, when you use the Junkie Powerful 3, what you're going to want to do is reiterate the times that they're not using and reward them for the times they're not using. So what I would do is I would start off by saying, hell, your being here today suggests that things are going well. I appreciate that. I'm very excited to hear how things have improved. So tell me how things have improved since last week. If they look at you and say, oh, Dr. Junkie, things have gotten so much better. I'm not drinking anymore. Life is good. The first question I would ask is, how have you done that? Help me understand. Where are you when you're not drinking? Who's around you when you're not drinking? What time of day is it when you're not drinking? What are you doing when you're not drinking? So you want to do the who, what, when, where, and find out all the times that they're not using. And then encourage them to do more of those times when they're not using. So if they say that when they're with their spouse they're not using, probability is being with a spouse is good for them because they're not drinking and drugging. So encourage them to spend more time with their spouse. If they say they're with their kids or their priest or their pastor or their whoever it is that they're around when they're not drinking and drugging, have them spend more time with whomever those people are. And the second thing is, where are you not drinking? So if they're telling you they're not drinking when they're at 12-step programs, have them attend more 12-step programs. If they tell you that they're not drinking and drugging when they're in church, have them go to church more often. If they tell you they're not drinking and drugging when they're doing fly fishing or on the golf course, have them fly fish and do golf course. When they tell you, I'm not drinking after 4 p.m. in the afternoon, ask them to spend more time after 4 p.m. not drinking and drugging. So you want to find out when they're not using, who they're with when they're not using, what they're doing when they're not using, times a day when they're not using, locations when they're not using, and encourage them to identify more opportunities to be doing things with those people, doing other things other than drinking or drugging. Now, let's say they look at you and you say, so help me understand how things have improved. And they go, oh my gosh, Dr. Junkie's been so awful. Things have been so horrible. They haven't improved at all. And this is what I would do. I would say, oh, I guess I'm confused. Because just attending our sessions, our counseling sessions together, paying $127 an hour will not help you defeat your drinking and drugging. So if you're only going to come here once a week or once every 2 weeks, pay me $127 to talk with you, and that not do anything between the time you leave and the time you come back, maybe a week or 2 weeks later, that is not going to work for you. What you want to do is practice all those things we talk about, and then to go out and not drink and drug and find out what's helpful for you to stop drinking and drugging. And as we talked about last week, 12-step programs are really good. So Alcoholics Anonymous would be a good place to go. What Alcoholics Anonymous groups have you been going to? You haven't. Okay. Help me understand how that's been helpful. Because what I heard you say was things haven't improved. So one of the things we had talked about last time we got together was attending some 12-step groups online. How are you going to find those 12-step groups? When are you going to start going to those 12-step groups? How long before you initiate going to those 12-step groups or participating online? So in other words, you put the responsibility back on them. Say, I heard that you weren't drinking when you were with your parents. So have you spent more time with your parents? Okay. I heard you weren't drinking when you were doing, fly fishing or golf or going to the movies. So are you going fly fishing, golfing, and going to the movies more frequently? I heard you were not using when you were with your spouse or with your buddy Charles. So help me understand, are you spending more time with your spouse or your buddy Charles? These things are important to do. So when, where are you not drinking? Okay, you weren't drinking when you were golfing, so out on the golf course. Who you were with, times a day. So I hear you're not drinking after 10 p.m. at night. How are you doing that? What are you doing? What are you saying to yourself? What do you do with your alcohol? So finding out all the places that they're not drinking and drugging, all the times that they're not drinking and drugging, all the people they're with when they're not drinking and drugging. And then, of course, you want to go the other way. If they tell you that things are not improving, they're not going well, ask them, help me understand, who are you with when you're drinking and drugging? Ask them, help me understand, where are you when you find yourself drinking and drugging? So I hear you saying, when you're down on the river walk, you're drinking and drugging. Okay, all right. And where? I hear you saying that when you're on the golf course, you're drinking and drugging. I hear you say that when you're around Charlie and Charles and Abigail, that you're drinking and drugging. So we need to stop being with those people and stop doing those things. So help them identify and then get them involved in 12-step programs. Ask them about which 12-step program that they've been going to or that they are going to begin to initiate to go. And they're online. They're easy enough to go to. Listen, I hope this has been helpful. Drinking and drugging, these are the second parts of the Junkie Powerful 3. It's identifying where they're not doing the drinking and drugging, who they're with when they're not doing the drinking and drugging, and helping them identify things that they can do more with those people when they're not drinking and drugging. Hope you have a good afternoon. Hope this was helpful to you. Take care. Bye-bye.